Okay. Check 1, 2. Are we live? I think so. Um, hey guys, and welcome. Welcome to Profound Words. So if you're new here, Profound Words stemmed from Profound Soul, which is my small business, and I'm very proud of it. I'm very attached to it. Profound Soul is like my child, and I feel like I'm raising it slowly as time goes on. And um, let's talk about it. Let's talk about Profound Soul. Welcome to the first episode in our new segment. No, in our new, what's the word I'm looking for? So I had a podcast, right? Had a podcast when I was younger, had a YouTube channel, all about it, right? Um, and then I fell off the face of the earth. But now we're back. We're back. And Profound Words is here. Profound Words is going to be something amazing, something incredibly amazing. Let me tell you my idea. So, Profound Soul stemmed from a manic episode. If you didn't know, I struggle with a plethora of mental health issues. I'm very transparent about it, always have been. But Profound Soul is based off of mental health awareness. And basically, in the midst of a manic episode, I decided I want to create a whole website and create this space, this community, this huge thing where people can come together and talk about what they're struggling with. So what did I do? I cranked out a whole website in the span of not even probably 24 hours. Cranked it out. I've redone the website now multiple times. But yeah, I made it a thing. I set my mind to it and I did it and I made it happen, and that's what matters. And so Profound Soul has been around now for almost 3 years, which is crazy to think about. It was just last year that I started implementing products into my small business. So I make a handful of products that can tie into helping you with your mental health, mainly like with your senses and sensory components that can help ease your mind and bring you back to a stable place. If you want to check out my products, profoundsoul.com under products is where those are at. And if you are in the McHenry, Illinois area, Crystal Loom is in downtown McHenry, and they carry some of my products there as well. Beautiful shop. We love them so much, and beautiful owners. And yeah, we love everything Crystal Loom. But besides that, Profound Soul is about mental health. That is where it started. It will always be centered around it. I like to talk about topics that don't always get the attention that they should have. And I think it's really important that as people that struggle, we are open and transparent about what we're going through. So that being said, I am also in grad school currently to become a social worker. I will be done in August. So consider me a therapist. I'm just kidding. But eventually, that's the goal. And then the goal after that is to obtain the hours that I need in order to get licensed. And then I will combine Profound Soul with all of the education that I have been obtaining. Besides this, I talk openly about my struggles, what I've endured, but something new that I want to start doing and implement on not only like within my blogs and my page and everything like that, but specifically within the podcast. I want to have guests and collaborate with certain guests and be able to talk openly about certain topics and get a different point of view on it, like talking about someone else's story and what they've endured and how certain aspects may have worked for them Whereas like with me, I'd be like, oh my God, I have no education on this whatsoever, or I have not experienced that personally. Please tell me more. Um, it won't always be like super deep, you know, it might be like a lighthearted topic, but other times I think it's important to get deep and dig into the trenches a little bit and figure out what others are going through in order to make a difference in the world. So that's the plan. So stay tuned for the upcoming episodes of this podcast and what's to come. I plan to have an array of guests. Some of them are close friends, some of them are mental health professionals, some of which are business owners. So I think that having a good variety is something that'll be so inspirational for so many people. Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very excited for this next chapter of Profound Soul. Let's get into the segment called Getting to Know Julia, because you should know a little bit about me if you're going to spend time listening to this podcast. And for the podcast, I'm going to offer an audio version and a video version, so you are able to pick which direction you want to go with it. Some people prefer the visual, watching the video, vlog style, not vlog. I mean, kind of, but like sit down video where you can visually watch it, while others prefer to listen to it in audio. And that is just more their vibe. And like, that's cool too. So why not offer both? Right? So a little bit about me. A little bit about me. I am Julia. I will be the host of this channel and this page, and everything profound is me. I was gonna say I'm 28. Oh my God, I'm aging myself. I am 26 years old, and I am currently still living at home. I love living at home though. It's really great having the support system and being able to be close to family, be able to save up for my future and wrap up school and everything along those lines, and be able to start my career and my life and all of the things. And my family has supported me through so much, and I'm continuously grateful for them. If they're watching this, thank you so much for being there for me and not kicking me to the curb. Besides that, I have 2 fur babies. I have Sawyer, who is my 5-year-old golden retriever, and I have Salem, who is my 2-year-old. We think he's Maine Coon. We think he's part Maine Coon, I should say. He's a cat, and he's a big boy. He's a big, fluffy boy. You will meet them in the future, maybe. If you like watch the physical videos, I'm sure they will make an appearance in the videos and everything like that. I actually just wrapped up my first internship, and that ended in December. So that was such an experience in itself. It feels very surreal still, what I learned and everything that I did and all of the things, right? So that was my generalist internship, where I essentially wore the hat of a therapist, and I had my own clients in my office, and I commuted every day, or not every day, but like 3 days a week. And I was a therapist those 3 days a week, and to clients that stemmed from the age of 5 years old up until 50s, you know? So I had an array of clients, and I thought it was the most amazing thing ever, being able to be so selfless and put like your life aside and help somebody else and guide them and listen to them and supply a safe space for them to authentically be themselves is the best that you can do. I dealt with really bad imposter syndrome, and not knowing how to trust myself and my abilities was something I really struggled with. I struggled with the concept of being genuine and like trusting how I wanted to go about it compared to like ethically the proper way to go about it, or the place that I was interning at, like how to follow their protocol and their way of going with things. So it was really hard being like pulled in 8 directions of like, okay, who am I supposed to be? How am I supposed to portray myself? How do I still stay true to myself in this? But definitely a lot of pressure, you know, like you are being somebody that these children or teens or adults can trust and open up to, essentially. And that is something so amazing. Imposter syndrome was awful. I dealt with that for probably the first 3 to 4 months of being there. And I struggled so hard. I remember coming home and just being like, I feel like I'm not doing a good job. I don't know how to do this differently. And essentially just like not trusting myself. And everyone in my life heard about it. They heard my issues with it. And, you know, it was like hot and cold all the time with like how I felt I was doing. But towards the end, you actually see that you made a difference in the lives of your clients. And that was, I think, when I had that turning point in my mind of like, oh, I did something here. I made a difference. Whether it was small or big, whatever the case may be, I made a difference. And that was something so beautiful and fulfilling for me. I actually just started my second internship, and it's going to be a fully virtual remote internship, which has a lot of different opinions on it. I personally don't have a problem with it. I am completely in virtual school right now and have been for the past almost 2 years. And even when I finished my bachelor's degree, I was doing remote work. So I'm very used to it, and it's something that I do well at. I like the flexibility and being able to navigate it the best way that I can and not being like distracted and overwhelmed and whatever the case may be. This internship is not another generalist internship. It is more so focused on leadership administration. So leadership administration is learning the behind the scenes of everything, learning how to run a business, learning how to market yourself, how to start everything, how to get an LLC, like all of this stuff. From there, I'm gonna learn all the stuff I need to learn and grow and prosper and evolve. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Um, you'll learn more of my personality and my quirks and all of the things that make Julia Julia as the podcast proceeds. In future podcasts, I should say. And I can't wait for this next chapter, this next journey. Thank you to whomever took the time to watch or listen or both to this first welcome video. I am very excited about all that is to come. This podcast means a lot to me. My goal is to be consistent with it. There will be a new podcast once a week. We will get a strict schedule down on that. That way there's actually set days and times and everything like that. Pivot. We're going to pivot a little bit. Pivot. If you're interested in following social media to stay up to date with posts, videos, podcast schedule, blog schedule, everything like that, it'll all be listed in the description below so you can get a sneak peek into more of what Profound Soul is. I am very excited for this next chapter, and I can't wait to have you guys join me for the ride that is Profound Words. Stay gentle. No, I don't like that. Let's try again. Be gentle with yourselves, be patient, and trust that everything is happening for, as he said, a reason. Anyways, yeah, stay true to you, evolve in all that you are, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.